The scariest movie you'll ever watch doesn't exist on any screen. It begins with a flicker of thought, a shadow behind your mind's eye, a whisper your imagination insists is real. Those cheap jump scares in theaters, they cost nothing compared to what your brain can produce when left to roam freely. That's cheap. You knew the scream was coming. You flinched anyway. What if your next thought could scare you more than any scream, more than any mask or monster? The darkness is not in the theater. It's in the folds of your mind. Every pulse of anticipation, every tightened breath, every glance over your shoulder, a rehearsal your brain insists on performing. Which scares you more? A, what you see, or B, what you imagine? Tap the corresponding label on screen now. You are both audience and actor. Trapped inside a story, your imagination insists on finishing. Your brain craves danger, yet it insists on safety. That roller coaster, that haunted house, that horror film you line up for. Your mind knows it's padded. It knows you'll survive. Yet every twist, drop, and shadow fires the same circuits that react to real threats. Dopamine surges, adrenaline spikes, pupils dilate, muscles tense, all in preparation for a danger that isn't real. We pay to feel unsafe, yet deep down, we already know the ending. This is the safe simulation theory in action. Our thrill-seeking instincts are actors rehearsing a scene that will never truly occur. Imagine climbing into a dark attic, flashlight trembling, air thick with imagined menace. Your pulse races, sweat prickles, and your brain whispers, something is coming. And it isn't. Yet absence fuels the terror. This is benign masochism at its finest, the pleasure in controlled suffering. Your mind flirts with danger it can never meet, and in that dance, you discover a strange satisfaction. Every unexpected sound, every rapid heartbeat is a rehearsal for panic, contained and curated. The cost of a thrill is surrendering control, but we choose it. Fear isn't a flaw, it's a rented rush. When's the last time you chose fear, be it a movie, a climb, or a challenging conversation? Comment your story below. That is the price of knowing your mind can terrify you far beyond any screen. But what happens when fear isn't invited, when the threat is internal, and the body's alarm is stuck on? This question pulls you forward into the biological machinery that makes the mind both terrifying and mesmerizing. It's not the monster in the dark. It's your brain rehearsing your death just in case. Your amygdala, the signal of threat, fires instantly at every perceived danger. Heart rate jumps, breathing accelerates, pupils dilate, muscles tighten as if preparing for fight or flight, even when the threat is imaginary. The hippocampus stores these rehearsals, filing each spike of fear like evidence, ready to replay it at a later date. Your body is a theater of anticipation. Your neurons are actors performing the ultimate horror scene over and over. Freeze. Breath gone. Vision narrows. This paralyzing response is often mediated by the vagus nerve, designed to shut down the system during overwhelming threat. Every shadow, every sudden sound triggers circuits honed to keep you alive. But in a controlled environment, this same machinery is hijacked for thrill. You laugh nervously, shiver, maybe even scream. And yet, that terror is chemically, physiologically undeniable. Dopamine rewards the anticipation. Adrenaline sharpens the senses. Comment freeze if your body just reacted. Your brain loves the rehearsal, even as it terrifies you. It is a paradox, pleasure drawn from panic, biology turned into entertainment. When the lights dim and the story ends, the body still recalls the rehearsal. And that is why the scariest moments are not on screen. They are within you, replaying in circuits designed to keep you alive. The question now, what happens when these primal circuits are triggered not by a shadow or a sound, but by an unread text message, a failed pitch, or the terrifying blankness of the future? That is the bridge to understanding modern predators. The shadows of fear are no longer only monsters lurking in dark corners. Now, they live in your phone, your inbox, your unreturned messages, the silent judgment of others. Your brain registers being ignored the same way it registers a broken arm. Neural circuits cannot tell social injury from physical danger. Anxiety flares, stomach knots, heart races, pupils widen. Every notification ping, every omitted reply, every subtle expression triggers the same primal alert system that once protected humans from predators in the wild. This is modern anthropology in panic form, a social ecosystem engineered to hijack your fear circuitry. Imagine sending a text and waiting. Every second stretches. Your mind invents outcomes, predicts disasters, rehearses humiliation. Your amygdala fires. Adrenal glands release adrenaline. Your vagus nerve tightens the freeze reflex. The terror is invisible, internal, unstoppable. We fear visceral shadows but ignore abstract storms. We obsess over immediate social snubs while overlooking vast, slow-moving, existential threats. This terror is not random. It is patterned, anticipated, rehearsed in every social encounter. How often has your body reacted to a message, a glance, or silence, as though your life depended on it? Comment your experience. Yet, there's a strange comfort in this panic, a reason we secretly seek the cliff edge. Why do we keep chasing the feeling of losing control? The bridge to the paradox of control is clear. The more our fear is rehearsed, the more it seduces, and the more we wonder what it would take to truly step back and face it. We chase fear because it offers the illusion of mastery. The thrill of a horror film, the adrenaline of a climb, the tension of a difficult conversation. Each is a controlled gamble. Your brain knows the outcome is safe, yet every spike in heart rate, every shiver, every startled jump feels real. Dopamine rewards the anticipation. Adrenaline sharpens the senses. Would you face terror once, or anxiety forever? Pause. Let that settle. Every encounter with fear is a lesson in paradox. We choose vulnerability, we invite panic, and yet we retain control simply by knowing it is temporary. The light flickers in the projector. The reel clicks. Your body remembers the rehearsal, but your mind narrates the story differently than your physiology experiences it. Every heartbeat, every tightened muscle, every breath held in suspense is a measure of both surrender and command. You cannot escape the loop, but you can choose the frame. This is the paradox. Fear can dominate yet remain optional, terrifying yet enriching. When's the last time you deliberately leaned into a fear, knowing the cost was fleeting? Comment below with the moment you invited panic and felt the strange exhilaration that only control over fear can deliver. In the dance of terror and mastery, we discover the strange pleasure of knowing our minds can terrify us and also rescue us. And yet, the question remains, how do we respond when fear is uninvited, not rehearsed, when the mind itself becomes the predator? That is the doorway to the final reflection. Fear is not something external. It is a story your brain tells itself, an internal cinema that projects shadows where none exist. You've traced it from cheap scares to biological rehearsal, from imagined monsters to social predators, and now the revelation. The most terrifying horror is the one we carry inside. The darkness is intimate, personalized, tailored to every thought, every memory, every expectation. The vagus nerve still whispers freeze. The amygdala still flares. Heart rate still spikes. But awareness changes the experience. You are both witness and participant, both actor and director, able to observe the loops your mind plays on repeat. We're afraid of meeting ourselves in the dark. That sentence lingers. Every pulse, every subtle breath, every shadow that makes your stomach tighten, all rehearsals of the mind cinema. The projector hums softly, heartbeat under layer, fading slowly over 5 seconds, letting the tension release. Comment below, what shadow lives in your mind tonight? Understanding terror as internal, cyclical, yet navigable, gives you agency. The scariest moments are not outside, they are within. And yet, even within this horror, there is power, the ability to pause, reflect, and recognize the artifice of the mind's creation. The story concludes, but its echoes remain, teaching that the ultimate confrontation with fear is an encounter with yourself, a quiet mastery over the mind's darkest cinema. Tonight, you are both audience and actor, director and protagonist, navigating a horror story that is entirely, uniquely yours.